Part of a large wooden art project will be a triangle formed by joining 3 boards together. The artist has 4 boards that measure 16, 11, 7, and 3 feet. Which board cannot be used with 2 of the others to form a triangle? Let me give you a hint. With these, if you start with the smallest 2 and add them together, because remember, the thing is that when you add 2 of the sides together, they have to be greater than the third side. So find the smallest one, add it with the other smallest one. What's 7 feet plus 3 feet? That's 10 feet. If that only equals 10 feet and it's smaller than the other ones, it's just going to collapse. Now, how do you know which one is it? Is it 3 feet or is it the 7 feet? Well, if you take 7 feet and add it to 11, that makes 18, and that is greater than 16. So 7 and 11, both of those would be okay. So it's going to be that smallest one right there, 3 feet. Number 2, which of these could be the value of x in the triangle below? Remember, the rule for this is that the biggest angle is across from the longest side. So my biggest angle is 85. That means my biggest side is 38. My smallest angle is 42. And across from it is 26. That means my shortest side is 26. This is my medium angle. And so my length needs to be the medium length. It needs to be in between 38 and 26. So we have 5 times x, 5 times a number. That means we're going to take 5 times these answer choices, and our answer has to be in between 38 and 26 because it's the middle length. So what is 5 times 5? That's 25. If this length was 25, would that be the middle length? Compare it to 38 and compare it to 26. That would not be the middle length. It's the shortest length. So this one won't work. Okay? Let's take 5 now, 5x, 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is equal to 30. Would 30 be the middle length? If that was 30, would it be in the middle? It is between 26 and 38, so yes, it would be that one. What is the area of a trapezoid that has bases measuring 19 and 23 centimeters and a height of 14? Remember, our formula was 1/2 top plus the bottom times h. So let's add the top plus the bottom together. 2, 3, 4. Take it times the height. All this work needs to be on yours. That's 588. And then we get half of that. I feel like I made a mistake somewhere. 19 plus 23, 12, 2, 3, 4. Times the height of 14, 8, 16, 2, 4, 8, 8, 5. Okay, and then we find half of that by dividing by 2. 588 divided by 2. This work needs to be on there. This is me bringing that down. 294, right there. Okay. Number 4, the area of that triangle. Okay, I saw a lot of students take length times the width, and then they forgot to do that special thing that I told you 6th graders forget to do. It's divide by 2. 26 times 17. Multiply that out on your paper where you're taking notes. Okay, and that answer choice is there, but what have we not done yet? Divide it by 2. So you still need to do that work on your paper. A lot of you probably have the multiplication already. 221. Okay, the trapezoid has an area of 475 square meters, so they gave you the answer, and they want to know how would you find the height? All right, so remember that it was 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2, that's the top and the bottom, times the height. Okay, and that gives you the area. Okay, so all of our answer choices has this all simplified. So let's go ahead and do that. The top plus the bottom, okay, is, I have to set it up this way to work it. 2, 3, 4. 46. And then half of that, what's half of 46? Is 23. 23H. 23 times the height is going to give you the area. And that's as far as we can go because we don't know. I mean, we have to divide now. All right, number 6. A rectangular prism has a volume of 1,500 cubic centimeters. It has a length of 34, a width of 22. How would you find the height? Okay, so remember our formula is volume equals length times width times height. And they give us the answer. And they tell us the length. And they tell us the width, but they don't tell us the height. Okay, that's the height. So how do you find a missing number in a multiplication problem? We have to divide. Before we divide, let's see how close we are so far. So 24, let's go ahead and do that multiplication, times 22. Is 528. Okay, I just realized that I set this up wrong. So that should be 34. Okay, 8, that should be a 6. And that should be a 6. Hopefully you caught that when you were doing your own math. You're not supposed to be just copying me. You're supposed to be working it out yourself. That should be 748. So 748 times h. And then to find out what h is, we would divide our answer with our factor that we know, but they're not asking us to do that. So it's this one right here. Now I know that a lot of you have figured out how to found an easier way to pass or do well on your dashboard assignments. But if you're not practicing those, are you really learning? If you're just guessing answers until you get the right one, is that, are you learning how to do those skills? No, you're just hurting yourself. So you may do well on these dashboard assignments, and then if you can't perform those same skills that you're doing well on a test, then you're going to fail the test, and then your average will be failing. Because remember, your tests count more. So if you're not doing well on your test, it tells me that you're not really practicing those dashboard assignments. Maybe someone's helping you too much. Maybe someone's doing your work for you. Maybe you're just guessing without really thinking about what you're doing. All right, number 7. Which expression represents the sum of 59 and x? Okay, and that is an addition problem, so it's that one right there. Which number has more than 2 factors? Okay, your t-chart for 19 is just 1 times 19. That's exactly 2 factors. We're looking for the one that is more than. 23, y'all didn't have that one up there. 1 times 23 is the only way to make 23, so that's not a choice. 25, 1 times 25, and then 5 times 5. So that one, this is the same number, so y'all actually have 3 factors on this one, and that one is more than 2. 29 is just 1 times 29. So if you didn't have 23 and you guys were using the flags to figure that out, But once you found 25's factors and realize, oh, that one has 3, that's more than 2, that's your answer. Number 9, which of the following statements about rational numbers is not correct? All whole numbers are rational numbers. Remember, we had these are whole numbers, integers, and rational numbers. Okay, so whole numbers are also rational. Yes, they are inside the rational circle. The whole numbers are. Remember, these are whole numbers right here. So that is true. All integers are also rational numbers. Yes, integers right here are also in the rational circle. So that is true. All rational numbers can be written in the form as a fraction where the bottom, the denominator, is not a 0. Okay, that's true. Remember where we talk about like 2/5 is rational, your fractions, your decimals, your positives, and your negatives are rational numbers. That is true. Rational numbers cannot be negative. Cannot, come on. Integers are negative, and integers are part of the rational numbers. Remember I told you in your notes that you were supposed to study that rationals include positives and negatives and fractions and decimals. So this one is the false one. That's the one you should have answered. Number 10, what is the measure of the missing angle of a triangle that contains angle measures of 37, 59? We're finding the missing one over here. Remember that they're all supposed to add up to what? 180. So we have to find out what we have so far. 37 plus 59 is 96. 180 minus 96 is 84. You should have gotten 84. And I think I saw one person put 84 over here. You guys, that's 84 hundredths. That's not a whole number 84. So that should have been 84. What's the measure in degrees of the missing angle below? So we have 39 plus 66 plus something we do not know equals 180. What do we have so far? 39 plus 66 is 105. 180 minus 105 is 75. So that should be here. Okay. And of course you would bubble that in. Janice wants to buy a carpet for a trapezoid-shaped room. There's no picture, so I need to draw it. Trapezoid-shaped room. The bases of the trapezoid are 12 and 14. I put 12 with the short length and 14 with the longer one because it's a bigger number. And the height is 15 feet. If the carpet she likes is $5.50 per square foot, how much will new carpet for the room cost in dollars? So we have to remember our formula. Base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So let's add the top and bottom together. 12 plus 14 is 26. Okay, and then we're going to take that times the height. So 26 times 15. 390, and then we need half of that. So 390 divided by 2. Nope. 9. Okay, is 195 square feet. Okay, and it's $5.50 per square foot. So 550 times 195 I have 2 decimal places, so I need 2 in my answer. Okay. Remember, every time you start a new row over here, like there's our initial row, that's when we started multiplying with the 5. But then when I started multiplying by 9, that's not really 9, that's in the tens place, so it's 90. So we put a 0 there to begin with and then start multiplying. 9 times 0, 9 times 5, blah, blah, blah. In the next row, this isn't really a 1, it is a 100. So we start by putting 2 zeros and then multiply it. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5, and so on. So every time you start a new row, you have to put in an additional 0. And then there's our answer right there.